Coming out of turns 3 and 4. Chad White on the bottom. William Duff on the top. Checkered flag in the air. Who's going to win? It's William Duff. No, look out. He just junked it. Look out. Oh, my God. World's #1 streaming service. Hutchinson Motorsports TV. On the call tonight. On your feet. Off your seats. It's about to go green. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live here tonight with Motor City Racing at Daytona. And in the booth with me here tonight is a special guest. Christian, go ahead.
Special guest, even though I work here, but we are in Daytona, the world center of racing, here for some IMSA action, Motor City Racing. A lot of hype about this one as we're rolling into next weekend's 24 hours of Daytona. Blake, are you excited for it?
Oh, I'm pumped up. You know, we know a lot of these guys are out here kind of getting warmed up for the 24 hours of Daytona next weekend on iRacing. And Christian, I think you got some news of a couple guys maybe switching some classes.
If you look in the 7th position on the board, GCT Pro, he's only 0.6 seconds behind the leader in practice, which is Caden Parks Miller, qualifying, excuse me. He is making his start tonight in the GT Pro, usually LMP2, but he's prepping for the 24. One other in the field, you're going to be looking into the LMP2 class, Curry Sturtoff. He is sitting on the board. I don't see him on the board. Am I blind, Blake?
Trying to take a look.
I don't see him
here.
on the board.
I thought he went to GTPs, but I could be wrong. But nonetheless,
That's what he did. He went to GTP. I'm sorry.
Okay, yep. He went to GTP, and I don't even know if he signed in here. But nonetheless, we are ready to roll here and get gridded up. Let's go through tonight's starting lineup here with Motor City Racing. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Motor City Racing on the world's #1 streaming service, Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Tonight, we are at the Daytona Road Course. It's night 1 hour sprint to the finish tonight. Starting lineup is as follows. We're going to start with the GTP class on the front row in the pole position. Sam Trotter on his outside. In the #169 machine, driving for Hutchinson Motorsports TV, Christopher Dan Kalir. Row #2 on the inside, going to be Nate Bonarowitz on his outside, Braden Carlson. Row 3, you're going to have Julian Padilla on the inside, Jimmy Harrell on the outside. We go back to row 4, Alan Gullison, John Sanfilippo. Back into row #5, Mr. Miller and Brandon Garrett.
Moving on back to your LMP2 class, 13 cars tonight on the pole, as usual, from Hutchinson TV. Sean Atkins. To his outside, you have Casey Catola. Next, row #2, you find Om Prajapati. To his outside, the #18 of Sky Moose. Moving on back, row #3, you have Jack Peterson in that 69 machine, with Braxton Jarrett starting next to him in the 95. Moving on back to row #4, position 17, Jason Denault, all the way from Canada down to Florida. To his outside, Richard Danowski in the 30. That's the Canadian row there. Moving on back, Anthony Hutchinson, Blake's long-lost cousin. Bevan McCombs to his outside, and starting the back row, second to back row, Trent Balak, Tehan Sharma, and Steven Uzak. It rounds out your LMP2 class.
As always, a stout field in the LMP2s, but we jump back to our GT3 cars. Two different classes with the GT3s. We have the Pros and the GTDs. We're just going to combine them here in the grid. It's going to be Miguel Torres and Alex Lalani. These two are racing each other every single week, and they always put on a clinic in that GTD Pro class. But actually on the pole, I missed him, sorry. Caden Parks Miller. So then the following row going to be Tyler Torville on the inside, Michael Hickman on the outside, Frank Pisano, Logan Manor. Then we have Stephen McLean, Drake Garrison, Tyler Mantle, Arthur Ramirez, Michael Irisey, Kyle Shush. And then we drop back further in the field. We've got Todd Torville, Drew Leonard, Austin Scott, Matt Marino, LaShawn, and then we have Samuel Andrews, and starting back of the pack, Matthew Elmer.
I I could hardly contain my excitement for some Daytona road race action. I'm looking forward to it in real life, and I'm looking forward to it in iRacing, and more importantly, I'm looking forward to the Daytona 500, Blake. It's coming up soon.
Yeah, Daytona 500, I believe it's February 15th, so we're just about a month out from NASCAR season getting started, but the pace car is in. The GTPs are ready to roll as they go into the juicy Spider restart zone. Green flag in the air at Daytona.
With the GTPs flying away, there comes the LMP2s down the tri-oval. Looking good and fast and in a hurry as they roar towards turn 1.
We got the GT3 cars all bunched up here. You got the GTDs and the GTD Pros all in one group. And let's see who jumps into turn 1. Nobody so far.
Just a quick note. Oh, somebody's getting off track up there. Looks like they're going to wait to rejoin safely. But a quick note. I will say that iRacing updated what you would call the esports line as... Oh. Well, then. Bye-bye. As iRacing updated that esports line, you can't dive it into turn 1 anymore. You have to stay on the racing circuit.
Back. Looks like my microphone went out there, but yeah, but like I was saying, you know, you guys couldn't hear me obviously, but we had an incident there. You know, I showed the replay, you couldn't hear me, but nonetheless, oh, we got one sideways. That's a 525. I believe that is an LMP2 car.
That is Taheen right there. And yeah, I didn't know what to do there. Blake cut out, and I'm like, I figured he was talking and the string could hear him, but I couldn't. But that wasn't the case, obviously.
Yeah, but we are still
one goes on
clean. Praj Potty a little bit off track here, but yeah, Christian mentioned a good point, how they updated the esports line going into turn 1. That's going to make a big difference. You get a 1X now going too wide.
Yeah, you go too wide there, and of course that was made famous in the top split of the Daytona 24-hour lap here. Just diving it in there, and you get straight line into the little S's there in turns 2 and 3. Very big momentum gain, and you just couldn't do it the legit way. Even though a lot of people like driving the way you're supposed to, you just lost so much time if you did.
Yeah, we're watching your GTD Pro race leader, Alex Lalande, out front trying to hold off Michael Hickman and Miguel Torres in second and third.
Interesting battle right here.
What are you seeing out of Logan Maynard here in the GTD class, Christian?
Well, I see him, you know, maintaining a 2.5 lead over Stephen McLean, you know, already getting that big jump in the start as he started well into the GTD Pro class. I think he was like 4th or 5th overall when you talk about the GT3s, Blake.
Absolutely, and then right here we got a battle for the 7th position. Brandon Perry holding off Alan Gullison in a battle heading into turn 1 here shortly. You're about to see this esports line, Christian.
But there is actually room to go side by side and make it work. You just gotta be ready to and trust the person who's ever on the inside or outside. Brandon Perry up 3 positions before he started, just dropped 1. Now up 2, so he is having a decent start so far. But there is some speed to be had there.
Look at this guy, Sean Akins. I tell you what, he's always the guy to beat every single week, it appears, in this LMP2 class. Last week, he spun it out going into turn 1, and that kind of cost him, but he still ended up on the podium. But here he is tonight, already a 2-second lead in this stout LMP2 field.
I'm going to go ahead and say it right for a very rare time. Sean Akins, you know, I said Atkins in the driver interview, and I always say Atkins. He calls me out every time. Apologies to him, Sean Akins.
Yeah, and we noticed in the chat, you know, Caden Parks Miller was mentioned. Looks like he started on the pole. He's back to 5th. I'm trying to find in the log if he ever went off track or anything, and I'm not seeing anything. definitely keep an eye out, see if we can find, but there's no log help.
Hairpin turn going on back to the NASCAR surface. This is a very sketchy turn. I've been practicing for Daytona 24 myself. Going to be running with a few other, about 4 or 5 other guys over at Mighty Donut Motorsports.
And now, Christian, how are you expecting to do there upcoming? You know, you mentioned you're doing the Daytona 24 here next weekend.
Well, you know, I'm not the fastest guy out there by no means. I mean, I'd probably be running back there behind Brandon Perry or John Sanfilippo if I was out here, but I will say that I bring my value in consistency. I feel like I could get around when I'm not pushing it. I could get around safely and continue to turn clean laps.
Well, that's definitely the key. You know, if you don't wreck it over the 24 hours, you're going to end up getting a good finish. That is definitely a promise. And it looks like something just came in. Jake Van Hees just subscribed to Hutchinson Motorsports TV. W in the chat for Jake. Congratulations for being the world's #1 streaming service. Latest subscription.
Whoa. Was that the Jake Van Hees?
That is correct. The Jake Van Hees is subscribed here. We're watching John Sanfilippo. I tell you what, I was talking to John. It was tough to talk with him, Christian, because he's just got off the boat from Italy. Speaks nothing but Italian, but he's out here running 8th in this GTB class.
There you go. Making a good run. Jason Nault here. Up 3 positions from where he started. Blake.
A good start for him. And Jack Peterson, he moved up to the LMP2 class. I tell you what, I give major props to Jack. He really tested himself. He was kind of dominating down there in the GTD Pro class. Well, not dominating, but he was running well. And he elected to take the challenge and move up classes, which a lot of guys don't want to do.
No, they don't, but it looks like we got maybe a little bit of battle for the lead with potential there, or up with the GTP class. Chris Damclear within a half a second. He was a lot closer.
Yeah,
see what he could do as the time goes on.
Yeah, so Chris Damclear out front just by about half a second. We go into the LMP2s. Sean Aikens out front 2.5 seconds. Down into the GTD Pro, still Alex Lalonde by about a second. And then in the GTD class by about 0.3 of a second. Pretty close battle here. Stephen McLean, your GTD class leader.
Stephen McLean, I think, recently got by Logan Maynard. You hear the sound of that car, Blake? Wow.
Absolutely. I'm going way back here. Okay, here's Caden. Trying to find where Caden Parks Miller went off the track. And folks, yeah, I don't know. I've looked at this entire log. He'd never crashed or anything, so there is no telling what happened. But fortunately, Caden Parks Miller, he's going to have to settle for the 5th position here in the GTD Pro class.
On board with him as Chris Damclear is within 0.3 of a second of Sam Trotter now. And every time I say it, the interval just jumps up, so never mind.
Yeah, it's really hard to keep track because, you know, going through these corners, that interval is just all over the place. We're trying to see where the closest battles on the track are. Let's pull up your HMS TV battle board. Looks like overall P18, your closest battle on the track. And Bevan McCombs, he just junked it. Right on cue. Let's take a look. On Project Potty just doors him, says, get out of the way, Bevan. I'm going to junk you. Oh, my, that was brutal.
That was something there.
That's kind of,
oh my
that's
God.
kind of dirty, not gonna lie. But we take a look. Casey Catola. Yeah, Casey Catola, good night for him. Seems like he's always around the podium there in the LMP2 class. And again, this is such a stout field. Probably the most competitive class, I would say, on the entire circuit.
Definitely so. Always week in, week out, gives some great battles. Logan Maynard still trying to keep up with Stephen McLean back in the GTD class. Sam Trotter still maintaining the half-second lead over Chris Damclear.
Hang on here, folks. Looks like we got a little bit of a issue. Oh, man. Well, froze up. We're going to have to refresh this here, folks. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Don't you worry. We will be right back with some NCR action.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
We are back here tonight with Motor City Racing at Daytona. Right now, Sam Trotter, your GTP class leader. Sean Aikens out front in the LMP2s with Alex Lalani in the GTD Pros and Stephen McLean in the GTDs.
Back at it again, 14 minutes into this 1 hour long race. Shout out to iRacing's game for having an aneurysm. Nothing we could have done, but we move on.
Yeah, well, nonetheless, you know, we were kind of due for a break there anyway, so we didn't really miss anything, but Sam Trotter's out here. We got some paint still loading in, so don't mind the gray paint schemes as Sam Trotter putting on a clinic, trying to lead every single lap here at Daytona. But he doesn't have a huge lead with Christopher Danclear slowly reeling him in.
The biggest change I see while we're gone is maybe was Drew Leonard got around Logan Maynard for second in the GTD class. Other than that, Sam Trotter also turned the fastest lap of the race, Blake.
Yeah, well, we're hopped on board here with our second place GTP car, Christopher Dampclear, just so you can kind of get a feel around how it looks here around Daytona road course. He is reeling in this race leader. Christopher Dampclear might be the fastest car on the track right now. What's the hardest part around this track for you, Christian? It's not the oval, is it?
I'd say it's definitely not the oval. It's getting power down. Like, I could do the bus stop, going into the bus stop, and then even the infield section. It's when you are trying to get back to speed, for me at least, and especially the setup we have that we're planning on. Once we started practicing on the setup, you get a little bit on power, and it's like wanting to fishtail on you. The rear tires are loose.
Absolutely. We jump back to the GTD Pro. You know, Miguel Torres was sitting in third there for a while, but he's worked himself up to second, and he has reeled in your race leader, Alex Lalonde. These two are always battling every week, it seems, Christian. Miguel Torres and Alex Lalonde. You can almost book it every week to see a battle between these two.
And it's something that you can, like you said, look for every week, and it's something that never fails to entertain. Heading through the tri-oval here to turn one, we're going to see if Miguel Torres is close enough to make the dive bomb happen.
Logan Manor
gaining speed,
backed
though.
into the wall there, it looks like, Christian, so he is well off pace here. Manor was running up front there in the GTD class. He's going to drop all the way back to fifth.
That's unfortunate to see somebody with speed having issues.
Looks like we got some faster traffic coming up on these two. Again, these two are battling for the race lead in the GTD Pros, but you see this LMP2 car, I believe, trying to rip through the field. Or hell, that might even be a GTP. I can't even tell the difference half the time.
Between the LMP2 and the GTP, there is a lot of similarities. You always got to know what you're looking for, and I'm not going to pretend that I do, ladies and gentlemen.
You know, a lot of times I feel like I can tell a difference, but there's some times where I see a car, it's like that's literally the same thing. But meanwhile, again, Alex Lalonde's still out front. Go ahead, Christian.
I was just going to say, especially when it's night racing, I struggle with it.
Let's take a look at this guy right here. Jimmy Carroll currently in the fourth position in the GTP class, as we don't really have any close battles on the entire track from what I'm seeing.
Right now, Jimmy Carroll is trying to run down Braden Carlson. Back in the GTD Pro class, racing for third. Michael Hickman is trying to get around Tyler Torville. See the gap right there through the NASCARs 3 and 4 as a subscriber comes in. Who is it, Blake?
iRacing UK. Just subscribe to Hutchinson Motorsports TV all the way from the United Kingdom.
There you go. iRacing UK is the new GOAT. Welcome in, but we do have a close battle back in the GTD class now, Blake. Michael iRacing all over Arthur Ramirez.
He is going to bump him through the corner here. Christian, we might see some bump drafting. We like a lot of NASCAR racing, and we might see some action here. They're side by side through the tri-oval.
Here we go. We're going to see when they dive into turn one. This is where it's going to be close. Oh, it gets a little slideways. Able to save it, but killed every momentum and cost him another position.
What do you think there? You think Ramirez might have squeezed him up the track a bit, or maybe he just kind of overshot it?
I don't know.
Who knows?
We're going to have to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, we'll have to watch these, see once they get bunched back together. But Sam Trotter, still your GTP class leader and overall, into the 19th minute here out of 60 minutes. Looking at the track here, trying to find the closest battle, and it looks like it is right here in a battle for third in the LMP2s. Not really that close, but you see about, I don't know, a half a second difference between Scott Moose and Jason Denault. A couple spots back, though, you see Anthony Hutchinson trying to reel in Jack Peterson. So you got a handful of LMP2s kind of all right there together. Looks like a battle for the overall lead is kind of developing here. Less than a second, Christopher Damclear trying to reel back in Sam Trotter out front in the GTP class.
Sam Trotter trying to just stay clean. Chris Damclear doesn't seem to be having.
We got a battle right here. Christian back in the third position in the GTD class. Arthur Ramirez, and I believe that is Drew Leonard just made the pass. Or no, it wasn't. No, Frank Pisano and Arthur Ramirez duking it out for third. These guys are quick right here, Christian. Looks like they're beating a couple. Well, actually, no, Frank Pisano's actually in the GTD Pro class, and Arthur Ramirez is in the GTD class. So that wasn't a battle for position technically.
It's kind of always hard when, you know, especially when you have two classes in the same car.
Yeah, you know, our timing and scoring really, we kind of manually do it to show the multiple classes. We really can't tell until we kind of look it over ourselves. But nonetheless, great run
Miguel
so
Torres
far.
just got to run Alex Lalonde, Blake.
Let's take a look here as these guys are battling. Let's see if we can find the battle right here. Let's take a look. Here's the pass for the race lead in the GTD Pro. Miguel Torres in the trioval gets around your GTD Pro class leader. He takes over the top spot. What else are you seeing around the track here, Christian? Again, you know, these battles just kind of sneak up on us. It seems like they're like a second apart, and then bam, they're like a 10th. So it's just kind of hard to keep up with the closest battles on the track with about 43 cars signed in here tonight.
Yeah, it definitely is something, especially here at Daytona. It's just a slip away, and then boom, you're there.
Speaking of there, right here in a battle for, I believe that's 7th in the GTD Pro class. Kyle Schuch is trying to get around LaShawn Young Dilworth. Schuch. We're going to go with Schuch. I think that's right. But nonetheless, that is definitely a unique name I've never seen in my entire life. We got a battle up here as Miguel Torres still trying to hold off Alex Lalonde out front in the GTD Pro class. Let's jump up here, Christian. What are you seeing up in the sky right here? Oh, somebody's smoking the wall.
Somebody destroying themselves?
We have no clue who that is. Our logs did not help us out, but somebody's got some major damage. They're going to head down pit road. But we are in the sky with the Harpoon Design Blend. Paint started just $25 at harpoondesign.com. Speaking of which, folks, I'm not seeing the Harpoon Design house car driver, Steve Tucker, here tonight.
Steve Tucker must have been scared of Daytona or something.
You know what, my guess, I think the Patriots are playing right now, aren't they, Christian?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yep, Steve Tucker, a big Patriots fan. He was not willing to miss the playoff game, and I don't blame him. So he's watching the football game here tonight. Taking, and did not start as we got a 3-wide battle here on the trioval briefly. Mr. Miller just crashed. Christian, let's take a look.
Mr. Miller, what did you do?
Slide jump.
Into the infield section, or trying to exit the infield section.
There you have it. We jump into the LMP2s again. Casey Catola in the second position, about 3.1 seconds behind Sean Akins out front. GTP class, Sam Trotter still your leader. Christopher Damclear in second. We drop back to the GTD Pros. Alex Lalonde still in second to Miguel Torres, which they're still battling here, Christian.
That has been an impressive battle all night, even though Miguel got around Alex. You have to keep an eye on that as we move forward.
One thing to remember here, you know, the draft definitely matters. So whenever you're right on that back bumper of the race leader, you can always count on a run here on this trial.
Definitely can, especially, like you said, heading out of NASCAR 3 and 4 to the trial.
I've seen confirmation.
Side by side.
Kyle Shook, it's pronounced, but nonetheless, the battle for the GTD Pro Class lead. Alex Lalonde takes back the top spot.
Oh, gets a little slideways there, but able to maintain it through the S's. What a battle.
This is a great battle. I tell you what, every week, these guys, it's just crazy that they can go track to track, and every week you count on these two be bumper to bumper at least half the race. This is definitely the best battle on the track. We got another one right here, though. Jack Peterson in 5th, trying to hold off Anthony Hutchinson in 6th, right on his back bumper.
Have you and old Anthony Hutchinson been able to make amends yet, Blake?
No, you know, every time I kept trying to call him during the holidays, and he would not return my phone call. So Anthony Hutchinson's still not a fan of me for whatever reason.
You know, you seem to be an unlikable guy sometimes, Blake.
Yeah, you know, I'm sure I made him mad one year at the family dinner or something, but we dropped back in the GTD class. Logan Manor working on Michael iRacing in a battle for 4th.
The Bruder tuner, if I'm reading the side of that car right, Blake.
It's definitely a good-looking car here for Michael iRacing. He's going to leave the lane open there on the bottom. Throws a block there. This guy's racing hard.
Elliott Sadler Motorsports trying hard here tonight. Hey, it's Kev, says he's never raced these cars, but now that I'm better at road racing, I'd like to give him a try. I'll tell you what, though. Hey, it's Kev, that when I started doing a little bit of road racing on the sports car side of things, it helped me across the platform, especially when it comes to car control.
Well, Christian, I didn't notice any improvements in your NASCAR racing.
Well, you know, I didn't ask your opinion.
But nonetheless, it looks like Miguel Torres is taking back the top spot in the GTD Pro Class. These guys are just passing each other back and forth every single lap, it seems.
Sure is an impressive battle. I'm sure these guys are having a blast here as we're approaching halfway, Blake.
Almost halfway done here tonight at Daytona here with Motor City Racing. You're watching Alex Lalonde in 2nd in the GTD Pro Class, right on the back bumper of your class leader, Miguel Torres.
This is one heck of a battle.
You know, I hate leaving it on two guys clogging up the entire broadcast, but again, this is the best battle on the track, and it's for the lead, so I mean, we have to show this.
Absolutely. See if Alex Lalonde is able to use the draft through NASCAR 1 and 2 down the backstretch into the bus stop. What is he going to have? He's got the momentum.
I'm not sure what the courtesy is, you know, when you have a run here, if you're kind of just supposed to let the guy go underneath you or what. But nonetheless, these guys definitely duking it out as they go through the chicane.
Alex kind of loses some ground through the bus stop. Gonna get the run though. I'm gonna go ahead and guess that by the time they get to the start finish line, it's gonna be side by side. Maybe not though, because look at the 172 up there.
Yeah, it looks like the faster car traffic gonna make a move, and it looks like Torres gonna defend the bottom here.
Yep, not gonna be able to get there thanks to the traffic and defending from Torres. Into turn 1 they go. Still nose to tail, still the closest battle on the track.
Logan Manor just crashed again, unfortunately. Let's take a look, see what happened. Tough race for Manor. He was running good until he wasn't.
Ooh.
Oh my.
Fly job.
Oh!
Oh no, hard impact.
He's done. Logan Manor, if you're rooting for Logan Manor, folks, your night is basically over. So he is in the pits, and we got all of our GTP cars down pit road here getting some service.
Always interesting when it just works like that. Everyone pits at the same exact time.
Well, I'm thinking the fuel run is basically, it is what it is. Everybody's going to pit on the same lap, it seems like. So there's really no strategy in that class. But there is a lot of fuel saving, I will say, which definitely matters. Back to this GTD Pro class. These guys still bumper to bumper as Lalonde has a run down the oval here and try to make a move.
But in typical fashion, I don't know if it's just the car, the Aston Martin, handling better in the corners than the Ford, but Miguel Torres always pulls away through the bus stop. But the Ford American Muscle reels them in down the oval.
Definitely seems that way. Seems like the Ford's got more horsepower, while the Aston Martin, has better handling there through the chicane.
Yep, and all these cars throughout the GT3 and even the GTP class that has the different manufacturers, they're all made with some advantages in mind in certain scenarios.
Yeah, but Miguel Torres holds on to that race lead as all of our LMP2s elect to go down pit road, get some service, and including Brandon Perry in the GTP class. Drake Garrison, let's take a look here, Christian. You know, you mentioned earlier Drake Garrison swapped classes here for tonight to get some practice at Daytona. Normally, I believe he is in, what, the LMP2 class?
I am not there at that screen. Give me 1 second. I will confirm. Yes, that's right. Drake Garrison. No, he's usually in the LMP2s.
What I said, but nonetheless, sitting in the sixth position.
Okay. My mistake.
Oh, good.
But I was going to say that everybody pitting cold tires is extremely, extremely hard here in these GPPs.
Yeah, we got Hey, it's Kev in the chat. You know, definitely seems interested in trying these cars out, as he mentioned earlier. Definitely recommend giving them a shot here. I am definitely not great, but the GT3s are fun cars to race. I don't really have much experience in the other classes here, though.
I'd say the GTPs are the, obviously the fastest and the most grippy, but you can't beat a GT3 around Bathurst.
Taking a look here, Caden Parks Miller currently in the third position in the GTD Pro class. Started on the pole, had an incident there. He's going to go down pit road here this time.
Get it woed down, turn the pit limiter on. He's trying to get his tires cleaned off so he can get a good stop.
And Miguel Torres.
A lot of people don't think about that.
As well as Alex Lalonde. Basically, all of your GTDs are coming down pit road right now.
But I think also, unless it's tight like it has been the past couple weeks, we won't have to worry about it. Anthony Hutchinson, cold tires. Slide job.
Keeps it out of the wall. He does tap the wall there. Hopefully not much damage. Should be all right, though.
That could have been bad if anyone else was coming, but should be all right.
Sam Trotter bullying his way through the field here, getting through this slower traffic. I tell you what, I mentioned it last week. I believe I was by myself last week. But when you're in these GTP cars, you have to kind of bully yourself through the field. You can't sit around and wait. I mean, if you're waiting on a GTD car through, the infield part of this track, you're going to lose a lot of ground.
Oh, absolutely. You will. It will just take time off of your overall. Especially if you're faster trying to catch somebody.
And the good news here at Daytona, with the big with the big oval section around the track, there is a lot of room for these guys to make passes. And that's usually where most of the passing is going to be.
There is a reason this is one of the most iconic IMSA style race in the world, is the Daytona 24.
And we're jumping around here. Jack Peterson in the 6th position, trying to make a move and run down Richard Danielewski in 5th. Looks like Braxton Jarrett just was involved in an incident. But we're going to stay tuned right here as we check out our battle for the GTD Pro lead. Frank Pisano has taken over that spot, I'm guessing, on a pit strategy.
We'll have to see how that plays out.
So Alex Lalonde right now in front of Miguel Torres by about 3 to 4 tenths of a second. LaShawn Young-Dilworth currently in the 8th position here in the GTD Pro class. LaShawn all the way from Jamaica, it appears.
That paint almost looks neon out there.
A good-looking paint scheme from Drive Trainer Motorsport. He is a teammate of Caden Parks Miller, so we know definitely has some resources to work with.
So I just love that green on that car. Like I said, it looks like it's glowing out there.
Great-looking car for him, and let's see what else we got going on around the track. Looks like Jack Peterson making the pass there on Daniel Lewski for fifth.
Miguel Torres and Alex Lalonde assume their positions again in the battle that has been all night long. All night long.
That is definitely the battle to watch here tonight. Alex Lalonde trying to hold off Miguel Torres, and we got Sean Akins, your LMP2 class leader, getting around these two.
Apex Hunting in the chat says, yes, sir. Drive Trainer Motorsports live release are fire. Lasan made them for the whole team, Blake.
You know what? Watching Sean Akins rip it around here, this guy is just a menace here lately. Just has major speed no matter what track he's at. I'm going to pull up the HMS TV dashboard there on the bottom right of your screen. So you can kind of see how quick he's hitting these corners. And if you're driving an LMP2 car here, folks, take some notes, because we got one spinning in the infield.
Now, Daytona does a fine job at cutting the grass, but they don't need any help.
Sean gets through this corner here, goes all the way down to about 65 mile an hour, and then back on the throttle he goes. He is fast here tonight at Daytona. 4-second lead. Single car incident, Austin Scott involved. Keep it right here, though, in your battle for the GTD Pro class lead. We got Connor Gerard out in the chat, as well as Apex Hunt. Who else is out there? We got Kev out there and many, many others. Appreciate you guys tuning in. 20 fans tuned in. Be sure to click that like button on the video. Subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment. Let us know who you're calling for. Kyle Schuch involved in an incident as well.
Connor Gerard says, life is a highway, fits perfectly tonight.
Well said, Connor, as we jump back here in the GTP class. Christopher Damcalier in the second position, about 4 seconds back behind Sam Trotter, who has just dominated this race. He's led, I believe, every single lap so far as we're heading towards minute 38 out of 60.
See a lot of meatballs in the GTP class. What is going on?
Yeah, the GTPs are struggling here. It looks like a handful of them are junk. Trying to find the closest battles on the track. Seems to still be this one, the battle for the race lead in the GTD Pro class.
Tell you what, no matter who wins this out of Miguel Torres or Alex Lalonde, neither one of them can say they didn't put off a heck of a show.
Hey, you know, they've just been passing each other left and right. We got some faster traffic coming up on them. Going to be interesting right here.
Yeah, that's when, you know, if you're the GT3, you want to battle for your position, but if you're the GTP, you want to get by, but, you know, just the battle that they have is insane.
Gonna hop on board with Miguel Torres as the, I believe that's an LMP2. I don't know. It could be a GTP. I have no clue. Gets around Miguel Torres, and there's another one.
Oh, that was close. I don't know if you noticed how close it was, but being in the GT3 car before, he was really, really close to that passing car.
And trying to see who that one was. It was a number 279. I am having issues finding that in my log.
That is Jason Denault.
Yeah, Jason Denault in the LMP2 class. Yep. So right now, Denault sitting in the 4th position from Canada. Gets around his fellow countryman, Alex Lalonde. Canadian on Canadian action. Denault getting around these GTD Pro cars.
That definitely put a dent in the battle between Alex Lalonde and Miguel Torres. I'm sure Miguel cannot be too happy about that.
Yeah, you know, sometimes your cards fall negatively because they were through the worst part of the track, and definitely helped out Alex Lalonde as Miguel Torres looks to have lost a couple of tenths there on the line.
will say though, that every time they go through the bus stop, Miguel Torres is a missile.
Closest battle on the track right here. Michael iRacing going to work here, trying to get around Arthur Ramirez. Looks like he does so. Ramirez just junked it. Let's take a look. That is not it. Try this. Here it is. You see iRacing sneaking up on him. Ramirez kind of overdrives through the corner, loops it around. There you have it. We got a lot of traffic again working on Miguel Torres. Poor guy cannot catch a break. Every time he's through this infield portion of the track, he's just losing ground.
I feel like he was flashing there saying, dude, look, I'm trying to fight for position. I get you want to go by, but give me a break.
Yeah, he just wanted him to get around him quicker, I think. But he's
this is a dangerous spot.
Yep. He's going to lose some more ground here.
And he had to go out wide there, too, which just gunked his tires up bad. Here at Daytona, the racing line stays clean, and anywhere outside of it gets dirty. And I'm talking real dirty.
Miguel Torres way back here now, 1.3 second difference. You know, he's lost about a second here in the last couple laps on Alex Lalonde.
Let's watch him to the bus stop, though. Watch that interval close unless that lap faster car hurt him, excuse me, and it didn't. Look at the interval, just ticking off.
Yeah, definitely looks like he gained about a tenth or so there through the bus stop. So we're going to have to keep an eye on this battle. It's no longer the closest one on the track. That battle, well, there's really no close ones at all. As we pull up your HMS TV battle board, there's no battles within a second of each other, basically.
I'd say just give it a lap or two. Miguel Torres will catch Alex Lalonde. He just has the raw speed.
Now we jump over to the LMP2 class. Jack Peterson only about a second and a half now behind Jason Denault.
I'll talk about somebody who is absolutely flying Blake. That's going to be Caden Parks Miller. His last time around was a 145.2. Alex Lalonde's last time around was a 145.6. So he is absolutely flying right now, and he's gonna catch him if he stays clean. Well, and of course, he will.
He's got Tyler Torville in front of him right now. Caden Parks Miller in fourth, Torville in third. Looks like there's about a 1.9 second difference. Last lap around, he only gained about 3/10 on him, so gonna have to keep chipping away at him.
Yeah, I think he's got the speed. Before you know it, he's gonna be there.
We got a lot of fans in the chat for both Caden Parks Miller and his teammate, LaShawn Young Dilworth from Drive Trainer Motorsports. That is a good looking Ford Mustang for your GTD Pro Class leader, Alex Lalonde, all the way from Canada.
Connor Gerard in the chat says he guesses you could say this race has been a need for speed.
Well put, Connor. Scott Moose involved in an incident. Let's take a quick look.
Oh wow, he's super fast.
Yeah, you never want to see an incident going into that turn one. You carry a lot of speed, and then you kind of just get stuck there. You have to wait for everybody to get around. He loses a lot of ground there. Boy, how about this run? Brandon Perry may not have a lot of speed, but he's sitting in the top 5 in the GTP class. He's kept that car clean.
This goes to show that you don't got to be the fastest to do something here in IMSA racing. That's what I'm going to be leaning on. I'll be honest, I'm probably turning about similar lap times to him in my practice. And consistency is key, though.
You know, he is about 2.5 seconds slower than Braden Carlson there in the 4th position. But again, you know, just keep your car clean and you can bring home a top 5 run.
Especially when you talk about the 24. I mean, every team just about is gonna meet some issue. So if you can stay clean for the most part, you will pull out something good.
Prajapati, he's known as the weapon a lot of times, folks. Involved in a lot of incidents, but he's got some speed sometimes. Right now sitting in 7th. I believe he was in an incident earlier, Christian.
I believe it was a little bit of a slide job. I don't really remember specifically seeing it. I may have just mentioned it.
Close battle right here, though. Jack Peterson holding on to the 3rd position with Jason Denault right behind him in the LMP2s. We're here in the minute number 45 out of 60 as Jack Peterson gets the bumper. Denault goes sideways.
Oh my, and there was somebody right behind him that probably hit him too. That's unfortunate. Who was that?
Richard Danielewski here. He was right there with him.
Seems to be okay. Everyone drives away. No harm, no foul.
Looking around the track, there's really no great battles. Caden Parks Miller has reeled in Tyler Torville here, though, Christian, in a battle for 3rd in the GTD Pros. Oh my, he's coming in hot.
Oh,
has to go wide there. I think he would have ran him over there.
He is trying his best to catch. Hey, what is going on over here?
Wow.
That guy said, I don't want to be a part of this. I'm getting out of the way.
Yeah, probably a good move because we know Caden Parks Miller was ripping it around here. He's still trying to reel in Tyler Torville in this battle for 3rd, as you're going to see a faster car get around. Ace Motorsports driver, though, Tyler Torville. Great run so far for him, sitting in the podium in the GTD Pro class in the 3rd position. Go back up front in the LMP2s. Sean Aikens, 4.2-second lead on Casey Catola, and sitting in the 3rd spot, Jack Peterson. We haven't talked much here, Christian, about the GTD class. What have you been seeing out of this guy? Stephen McLean been kind of dominating the class. Look at that gap.
Well, just pure speed, I'll say. He's 17.5 seconds up, like you mentioned, and no end in sight. Stephen McLean definitely going to be your GTD class winner here tonight, I believe. And when you win by 17.5 seconds, you may be looking at a promotion.
Absolutely. He keeps up that kind of pace for sure. Looks like Drew Leonard involved in an incident. Let's take a look. Leonard running 3rd in the GTD class. Just goes a little hot through the, oh my goodness, a little hot's an understatement. He is junk. Poor guy, he is done. It was a good night for Leonard until that. I think we got some family action, though, Christian. We had Tyler Torville running 3rd. I'm sorry, now he's 4th. Caden Parks Miller made the pass on him in the GTD Pro. We have Todd Torville running 5th down in the GTD class. And you don't care.
Oh, well, you know, if I might let muted there. I've been coughing a lung up half of this stream, trying to keep it out of the ears of the viewers, Blake.
Yeah, but like we mentioned, Caden Parks Miller has taken over the 3rd spot in the GTD Pro class, but he has quite a bit of a gap. He is about 4 seconds behind Miguel Torres. It's going to be tough to make up that ground.
Yeah, I will say the speed that he has kind of fell back a little bit, as he's quite equal with Alex Lalonde. If he catches Miguel, I don't think he's going to be able to do much as far as getting around him.
You know, and I wish I could find what happened there on the start. Caden Parks Miller, again, he started on the pole here and then ended up dropping back all the way to 5th immediately.
Alex Lalonde still driving hard, leading his class, hoping he can hold off Miguel Torres, who honestly got screwed here tonight. not at any fault of anybody in particular, but just the multi-class racing struck him at a bad time. Right, Blake?
Absolutely, you know, just, faster cars catching him at inopportune times for himself, and unfortunately lost a lot of ground. And once you lose a lot of ground, you lose that draft on the tri-oval, which really helps you kind of reel in that traffic that's nearby.
It definitely does. But Blake, we are now approaching, within 10 seconds, we will be 10 minutes to go.
And Christopher Damcolier has taken over the top spot. I'm not sure what happened. I'm sure Sam Trotter must have hit it or something. Yep, Sam Trotter went down pit road. So that makes me wonder, does Christopher Damcolier have enough fuel to make it to the end of this one?
Wow.
We know these guys do have to worry a lot about saving fuel in this GTP class. It seems like they have to pit halfway every single time, and it's all about saving fuel. So it's going to be interesting. Is Christopher Damcolier able to save enough fuel, or did Sam Trotter just give up the race win?
How many times have we seen it, though, where somebody tries to make it work, the other guy pits, and then at the last lap, he runs out and blows by him?
And another thing to remember, you know, you really have to time when you cross the line. You have to think about that, because if you cross the line a little too early, iRacing or the officials are going to make you do an extra lap, which really could cost everything for Christopher Damcolier.
Definitely could.
So you have to kind of have it in the back of your mind when you're coming up to your potentially last lap. I mean, maybe slow it down a little bit. I mean, he's got a 20-second lead. So, I mean, if you're cutting it close, you know, back it off that lap and try to make you get the white flag.
Of course, that is a chess move right there. You got to be really aware. It's kind of, I'd say that's doable, but it's going to be hard to do, especially if Chris Damcolier is running alone and doesn't have a spotter in his ear. A live spotter, that is.
My guess is his goal, he's just going to save as much fuel as he can, and hopefully it works out for him. Again, he's got a 20-second lead. You're probably going to see that lead drop off significantly as Damcolier is going to be lifting a lot to save as much fuel as possible. We got some Caden Parks Miller fans in the chat. They're happy to see Parks Miller up to the third position in this GTD Pro class. You know, it looks like his charge to the front probably going to end right there. He's still over 4 seconds behind Torres.
I will say, though, Caden Parks Miller has been a bullet all race and had to race his way to where he is. So no disrespect to him. But, however, Tyler Torville is going to be challenging him for position now.
And Torville putting on a clinic himself here. Great run for him tonight from Ace Motorsports, making a move on this green GTD Pro of Caden Parks Miller.
I have never seen paint inside the car like that. It says don't suck over his windshield. That was pretty impressive there.
Well, how about this car right here? This is a pretty sharp looking machine right here. Caden Parks Miller.
I gotta figure out that neon. That is beautiful.
You know, it kind of looks gray from here, but then you get up close and there's a lot of green. It's kind of beautiful there. I definitely love seeing it as you got a faster car heading around. Let's take a look at the battle for the lead in the GTD Pro class. Looks like Alex Lalani has about wrapped it up. He up and left Miguel Torres. He is 1.5 seconds out front. But the main thing to watch is this guy right here, Christopher Damcolier. Can he hold on and take home the win, or is he going to be short on fuel? We saw Sam Trotter had to head down pit road for a second time just a couple laps ago.
Yeah, but we'll say Sam Trotter's fast too, so if Christopher Damcolier has to slow down to save too much, 18 seconds, I know that sounds like a lot in 6 minutes, but if you're having to save super hard, you may just get caught.
Yeah, we jump back, and this guy has had a night not to remember. Nate Bonarowitz in the 6th position, which doesn't sound too bad, but he's about a minute behind 5th.
Somebody in the chat, I don't know who it was, told somebody to stop flashing people. You can't do that. You gotta flash people.
Oh yeah,
This is IMSA racing, Blake.
If I'm out there, especially in a faster car, I mean a faster class, I mean if you don't flash the guy in front of you, there's no way they're gonna see you, right?
Huh, like you don't exist unless you're flashing. I did see somebody. It looked like the number 6 of Drew Lidhart driving around with no lights.
Take a look here.
Got Moose. Oh, got airball? My God, he hit the tire barrier.
That poor number 9 tries to
involved.
avoid him, and they almost just got ran over there. Man, that was brutal. Let's show this one more time.
That was Prajapati involved too.
What an avoidance there by Prajapati, but look at this. Wham!
Oh, no, he didn't avoid him.
Well, he did avoid him, but then he smokes the wall.
Yeah, true. That tire barrier is new this year. That was not there last year.
And Scott Moose is not happy that it's there. He says, who the hell put that there?
Man, oh man, that was a hard hit. That was probably hard to sit all night. Even the people in the bus stop that hit the inside wall. That was a hard lift.
Absolutely, and we are running out of time here. We're heading in a minute number 56. Christopher Damclear, your leader. His lap times, Christian, are about a minute 36 seconds, so just a few more laps left for him. Hopping on board here with your overall race leader, Christopher Damclear, trying to bring home the checkered flag in this GTP class.
Just all of our class winners deserve it tonight. Especially Alex Lalonde. He definitely had to earn it.
Yeah, Lalonde really had to race hard there for a while. Miguel Torres was right on his back bumper for basically over half the race. But the most dominant performance has definitely been Sean Aikens. He's still got about a 4-second lead in this LMP2 class. He's led this thing from the start. Stephen McLean, though, he's had a pretty dominant performance. You look at that gap there, 21-second difference to Michael iRacing in this GTD class.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, within 3 minutes to go. Like I said, looking forward to this week. Tomorrow night, we take the track. Excuse me, I cannot talk. Wheels America Racing Cup Series. Where we're at, I don't know. I just got to race it. I should know, right, Blake? It's Michigan. Michigan, that's what it is.
Yeah, Michigan, that's going to be a good one, folks. You're definitely going to want to tune in and watch that. Be sure to click the notification bell on the bottom right of your screen so you don't miss any broadcasts here on HMS TV. But like Christian said, we're going to be live tomorrow night with the Wheels America Racing Cup Series. Tuesday night, we're going to be off, but I'm going to be racing. We're going to have a delayed broadcast. Probably going to put it out Thursday, I'm guessing. But I'm actually going to be racing. Frank Pisano involved in an incident here, Christian. Let's take a look. He tows it after this wreck, so it's probably not pretty.
Oh, wow. Yep.
He's done.
That's pretty rough. Also, you know, maybe not the audience to mention this in, being these are a lot of road racing guys. The NASCAR point format is released tomorrow at 3:30. I'm going to be tuned in. I know we're going to be talking about it over at my Discord. I cannot wait to hear what it's going to be, Blake.
When you see Christopher Damclear, you know, we talked about timing, and I think he just kind of timed that about as inopportune as possible. I don't think he got the white flag this time, so he's probably going to get the white flag next time around. So hopefully he's got enough fuel in the tank to make it 2 full more laps.
I'd say with 1 minute and 34 laps, this should be his last, definitely his last one.
Yeah, he'll get the white flag this time around, in my opinion.
Unless he already has it in some crazy way.
I'm pretty sure he did not. I think he crossed that line fairly early, so we'll keep an eye out on it, though, as we jump around the field here. Miguel Torres still in the second position here in the GTD Pro class. Drew Leonard's still out here. Look at that junk car. He's not even have headlights, Christian, because he doesn't have an entire front bumper.
Well, one thing we've proven here on HMS TV, we've drove NASCAR trucks in the dark around Daytona road course, so it can be done.
It's not fun, but it definitely can be done, and you're seeing it done right now. Drew Leonard out here trying to bring home a top 5 in the GTD class.
Christopher Dam, they're coming through the triangle. Let's see, is this the end or the white?
Give me the white flag.
White flag in the air. One more time around the beautiful Daytona International Speedway road course edition.
My guess is he should be good to go on fuel, Christian. I'm pretty sure if he knew he's going to be short, he probably would have headed down pit road.
I don't know, but look at how slow he's been, though. Sam Trotter's been able to make up 10 seconds since he's pitted. He's turning a 137 last time around. Sam Trotter turned a 134.
And I have confirmed to the driver radio, white flag is out. Christopher Dampclear just trying to make it around this circuit one final time to park that thing in victory lane. By the way, that is a Hutchinson Motorsports TV beautiful wrap.
We're going to have to start talking to some of these GTP drivers to just say white flag over the radio for us.
Yeah, that would
Get a
definitely
little
help
inside
out.
information.
Sean Akins, though, your race leader in the LMP2s, also in a Hutchinson Motorsports TV car. So we're taking home the top 2 classes here tonight with Alex Lalonde out front. Former HMS TV driver going to take home the GTD Pro class, it looks like.
And he thought he would be able to win a lawsuit with us, Blake. Oh, come on.
Unbelievable here as we hop on board. Christopher Dampclear through the tri-oval for the final time. Look how slow these GT3 cars are, Christian.
I felt like that was slower than
Wait,
actual.
did he
Oh,
just
he's out of
putt?
gas. He's out of gas.
He's out of gas, but it doesn't matter
He makes
here.
it, though.
Checkered flag. Christopher Dampclear wins it with no fuel remaining. We knew it was going to be close.
What a move that was to stay out and make it work. My, oh my.
Looking at our 3 other class leaders here. The farthest one up, Sean Akins here. It still has about half a lap to go.
Who was that spun out, Blake? Was that somebody who was done?
No clue. No way to tell. But Casey Catola, 3.2 seconds back of Sean Akins, who's looking to get to the checkered flag here and park that HMS TV LMP2 into victory lane.
What a race it's been.
Stephen McLean has taken the checkered flag, so he is your GTD class winner.
Alex Lalonde, too. Takes the checkered flag in GTD Pro class.
And Sean Akins takes home the checkered flag officially. So it's going to be Christopher Dampclear, your GTP class winner. Sean Akins, LMP2 class winner. GTD Pro is going to go to Alex Lalonde, and the GTD, Stephen McLean. Christian, we got any guys ready for an interview?
Well, let's just take a look, get them queued up. We know they trickle in after the show here. But we do... Oh, that's no wrong, Stephen.
Yeah, they've definitely taken their sweet time getting to the interview room. We'll give them a little bit here, but we're not going to wait around forever.
Well, we're going to skip Stephen McLean for right now. We're going to go ahead and bring in the GTD Pro winner here tonight, bringing it home 5 seconds over Miguel Torres. Alex Lalonde, this is Blake and Christian up in the booth. You got a copy on us?
I absolutely do, gentlemen. It's nice to be back here.
Yes, sir. It's been a while since we've been able to talk to you, but you're in here able to hold off an impressive, like, 45, maybe 40-minute battle between Miguel Torres and yourself. Y'all were back and forth. I mean, I thought it was the most impressive thing I've seen in a long time. 2 pro drivers going at it, and I will say it would have been down to the wire if Miguel Torres didn't get caught up in the faster traffic, which made him lose your draft. Walk us through that battle and how hard. What was your heart rate?
Yeah, gentlemen, that was a blast. It was heart rate was sky high, and you said 40-minute battle. I think it would have been 60. I think he maybe was just running a little low on fuel towards the end. Otherwise, I think that would have been 60 bumper to bumper to the end. He had me in a few key spots, and I had him in a couple spots, and really I think it came down to fuel at the end. But I'll have to confirm that with him.
Yeah, you definitely put on a clinic out there. You ended up leading most of the race here in the GTD Pro class, but it looked like you and Miguel there. It seemed like about every lap you guys were passing one another for a while.
Yeah, we were playing a little friendly there for a bit, or for the most part. At least we were trying to, but unfortunately, every time he was nice to me, I repaid the favor by royally screwing up the spot that he let me through. So, but yeah, that was a blast.
Yeah, well, hey, you did a great job, Alex Lalonde, all the way from Canada, parking it back in victory lane. It's been a little bit of a break from him, but good to see him back in here. Alex, you got any shout-outs or anything for our fans watching at home?
Yeah, shout out MCR, this wonderful league. Shout out the great new drivers we've got joining here that are really ramping up the league and helping us take strides here. Once again, I'd like to shout out Hutchinson Motorsport TV for putting on an awesome show. And, you know, despite our differences at the end of last season, it took till now to finally get the old setup book back from you guys and get me back on the winning page. So I really appreciate you guys kicking that back over to me and letting me get competitive again.
What? Blakey's got her setup book? Oh, this is going to be another lawsuit. Oh, my goodness.
Hey, I got it from a Hutchinson Motorsport TV employee, direct from their email. There was no funny business there. You're going to have to look internally on that one.
Oh, well, we're going to launch that investigation immediately. Ladies and gentlemen, your GTD Pro class winner, hoax, Alex Lalonde.
Thank you,
Thanks,
gentlemen.
Alex.
It was a pleasure.
Great job, Alex.
See you in court.
Well, Christian, I'm
Anyway,
looking,
Blake, can you believe this?
Yeah, you know, that's kind of wild, but I'm looking. I do see, looks like Sean Akins and Christopher Damclear are available. I'm struggling to see Stephen McLean anywhere, so... Oh, never mind.
He's here.
I do see him. I see him,
He's
yeah.
at the bottom. Yeah.
Go ahead and get him here.
Get him in for a quick interview. GTD class winner is going to be Stephen McLean, bringing it home. Just a clinic, 17 and a half seconds over P2. Stephen, how did you do that out there?
Got lucky, I guess. I didn't even know I was in P1, to be honest. I got taken out around turn or lap 5 or something. I don't know, but I recovered, I guess, good enough. It was good, but there's still some guys way out there faster, so still got a lot to learn.
Well, we definitely learned why your nickname is Ace, as you had the ace in the hole here tonight. Like Christian said, a 17.5-second lead here in the GTD class. Is Daytona one of your better tracks?
It is, but I had no idea it was up 17 seconds. That's crazy.
Yeah, well, hey, you did a great job out there tonight. Absolute domination, bringing home, I believe, your first win of the GTD season here. But you got any shout-outs or anything for our fans watching at home here, Steven?
Second win, I think.
Oh, second win.
But that's all good. No, just my team, Ace Motorsports. We love doing racing together, and we have a blast, and they make everything great. And you guys too. Thanks for the announcing and everything.
Well, we definitely appreciate that. Great run out there tonight. Big win for Stephen McLean.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Well, now moving on to the LMP2 class, it's going to be Sean Akins. I will say it right. And one more time, Mr. Sean Akins, I'm going to get it right in front of you this time, too.
Let's go.
Bring it home. LMP2 class winner tonight, Casey Catola. 3 seconds behind you. You're able to put on a clinic here. It's really wasn't contested. Walk us through that one.
Man, it was just good. You know, we've done so many laps here at Daytona. It was really all about who could get pole and who could not make a mistake. And I really don't think me or Casey made a mistake the entire race. I think we matched each other's lap time every single lap. So, yeah, man, it was a lot of fun. It was kind of impressed myself to not make a mistake. So, hats off to Casey, kept me honest. And, yeah, man, that was fun.
Hey, you know, like you said, you were mistake-free, which is big here. We know last week you had a rough outing going into turn 1, but able to keep it straight in turn 1 here tonight.
Yeah, I got pole, and then I started sweating, and was like, let's not pull a, round 4 or round 3 in round 5. So, because I lost the lead at Belle Isle, I lost the lead at Watkins Glen, so I hypothetically should have 3 wins right now, but finally got the first one of the season, and hopefully we can keep this ball rolling and maybe get back up top of the championship.
Yeah, good to see you parking in victory lane. We know that LMP2 class is just so stout, just top to bottom. There is a lot of speed.
Yeah, man, it's a lot different than last season. I mean, looking right now I'm looking at my screen. The last lap, nobody was more than a second off of each other on the last lap of the race. So that's pretty impressive if you ask me.
I definitely would agree with that. But again, Sean Akins, tonight's winner in the LMP2 class. Sean, you got any shout outs or anything before you head out?
Yeah, shout out to MCR, Motor City Racing, for hosting this thing, putting this all together. Shout out to you guys for letting me run the custom livery that y'all got for myself. Yeah, man, it was a lot of fun. Thank you.
Fun indeed. One last congratulations. LMP2 class winner is going to be Sean Akins. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that just leaves one more guy. A familiar face here on Hutchinson Motorsports TV does it again here at Motor City Racing at Daytona International Speedway. Your race winner is going to be Christopher Damclair. Christopher, this is Blake and Christian up in the booth. You got a copy on us?
Yes, sir. How you guys doing?
Doing great. We watched you, dominate the strategy here tonight. We were on board as you were coming to the line. We heard that car as it ran out of fuel. And Sam Trotter was charging hard. What was the heart rate at the end of that?
Oh, about 190. Yeah, it was that was a close one.
It definitely was
close
a close
indeed, but you made it work.
Yeah, definitely so. Like Christian said, you're putting at the line. You definitely had to be watching the entire race because we saw Sam Trotter head down pit road with about 10 minutes left, and we instantly were thinking, we wondered if you had enough fuel, and thankfully you had just enough.
Yeah, this is like the 5th time in about 10 races that I have tried to fuel save on the first stint and come up like a 10th of a lap short and had to box. So had I pulled that off, it would have made the second one a lot easier. But I was surprised that Sam pulled in. I thought he would try to stretch it and do a mega fuel save like I was doing, but he didn't, and we got the win here.
And and we were watching, the timing of when you crossed the line, and it looked like you crossed kind of at the worst time to make yourself have to do an extra lap, but thankfully you still had enough in the tank.
Yep, thank you Race Labs for telling me how much I had left.
Yeah, well, it definitely worked out. You had some major speed here tonight at Daytona. You're parking that Hutchinson Motorsports TV GTP machine into victory lane. Now, how many wins on the year is that now, Chris?
I think that's only 2. I've had a rough couple races here. I keep getting in tied up with GT3 cars and LMP2s, so it's good to be back here.
Yeah, well, it has to feel good. Again, congratulations. Big win here at Daytona. Before you head out, though, Chris, you got any shout-outs or anything for our fans watching at home?
Yes, sir. Ian Drennan, thanks for forcing me to do fuel saving practice and texting me every single day about fuel saving for the 24. It worked out here, so appreciate it, buddy.
All right, it worked out indeed, and we look forward to the Daytona 24. Good luck to your team, and congratulations on your win here tonight, Christopher. Thank you.
Yep. Hey, are you guys running it?
Blake is not. I am. So the broadcaster, I am slow, but when I'm not pushing in the car, I can be consistent. So that's what I'm going to lean on.
Teams were begging me, to run.
Okay.
Just I've been called all week long, Chris. Trust me, but I just had to turn them down.
Yep. Right. Sometimes you got to turn the phone all the way off. Yep.
Absolutely. But
So,
hey, congratulations.
Good luck to you guys for the race.
Oh, yeah. Well, we definitely appreciate it. And we wish you the best of luck as well. Definitely let us know how the 24 goes for you.
Will do, guys. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you, Chris. Well, Blake, another one comes and goes. Motor City Racing here at Daytona. It was a beautiful race, and we look forward to the iRacing 24, right?
Yeah, definitely fun, to hear everybody's stories, and it's always fun watching, half the time it's half the people, complaining that somebody wrecked them, and the other half are super stoked because they had a great finish. So going to be interesting to see how everybody does in the upcoming Daytona 24 next weekend, but that's going to round things out here with Motor City Racing right here on the world's #1 streaming service, Hutchinson Motorsports TV. We've only got a few more weeks left here in the season, Christian, and it was a pretty good one here tonight.
It was good. It makes you think how this overall is going to go. Not too many runaways when it comes to points, and had to do a little bit of research or maybe get a points update for you next week, but looking forward to it, Blake.
Yeah, me too. But, folks, that's all we got here tonight. We're going to round things out with the Hutchinson Motorsports TV outro done by our friends over at Juicy Spider Studios. You can hit them up on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Juicy Spider Studios. Shoot them a message. They can help you out with any kind of 3D rendering or any kind of graphical video work. Whatever you got, they can handle it. And a big shout out to HarpoonDesign.com, best paints in the business. Brantley Roden, #1 rated painter on trainingpaints.com. So head on over, harpoondesign.com. But that's going to round things out in the booth with Christian Taylor. I'm Blake Hutchinson, and we'll see you back here tomorrow night with the Wheels America Racing Cup Series.
Coming out of turns 3 and 4. Chad White on the bottom. William Duff on the top. Checkered flag in the air. Who's going to win? It's William Duff. No, look out. He just junked it. Look out. Oh, my God.
World's #1 streaming service, Hutchinson Motorsports TV. On the call tonight. On your feet. Off your seat. It's about to go green.